must be our goal and our guide. And all that we strive for as a human family, dignity and hope, progress and prosperity, depends on peace. But peace depends on us.
It is ridiculous and it is against the laws of nature that we can have somebody sitting pretty who takes home more money than the credible entrepreneur who is doing actual production of goods and services.
We always say it as it is.
It is only in this country that when a thief is arrested, you hear elders from their tribe saying, "He is our son and he is our thief."
If you are deviant
Yes.
and I call you leader,
Yes.
probably you are already a leader, but you are leading in the wrong direction.
We want to see the role of the youth
Yeah.
in the security,
Yes.
governance,
Yes.
and development.
The youth that I meet and work with here, you know, we call them the millennials and X's and Y's, this and that. They don't necessarily want to live like their fathers and grandfathers,
Yes.
do business like their fathers and grandfathers. They're more independent, they're better educated, and they're the ones that are making everything move in this region.
We look at the issues, we talk about issues that impact people's lives in Africa.
The African peoples themselves continue to cheer bad leaders, and because they cheer them on, they continue to be misled.
Let me ask you, doctor, would you rather be somebody who does not enjoy so much freedom but you are rich?
Yes.
Or you'd rather be poor who you are actually imprisoned by the poverty itself?
My goal is not to come here and say, I want the majority ownership, I want to own this, I want to own that, I want to do this. My goal is we all make money and we're all happy, and I help build a big business here.
Punchline is for Africa, with Africa, from Africa.
The creation of African Continental Free Trade Area is a step forward for the African integration, and it is very much welcome both by Africans in Africa and those in diaspora. The creation of such is the only second one since the formation of World Trade Organization in 1994, and is only compared to the size that can compete if it works in Africa. 1.3 billion people will benefit out of this free trade that has been signed and endorsed by 54 heads of state. After several years of up and down in the valleys of Africa and the mountains of Africa, we finally came to a conclusion that this has to happen, which brings us to the dream of Kwame Nkrumah when he said, at least building a block by block, Africa will one day unite to stand as a united continent. But are the members of this African Union committed? Will they implement what they have decided? Today, in several countries, we see signs of xenophobia, the lack of patriotism amongst the younger generation, the lack of employment, the unemployment, the mistreatment of the young, the youth, those who need jobs, the corruption, the amount of corruption that has eaten the entire continent of Africa could hamper the free trade that we are anticipating on the continent. What measures, therefore, have African heads of state put in place to ensure that those who lag behind, those who drop out, must be penalized We should not sign the document for the sake of documents, but we should sign documents for practical reasons that we shall implement what Africa needs today. Can it happen in our times? Is it going to happen? Is integration a mirage? Is integration worth going to happen? Will it happen? What has happened about the present blocks that have started integration process? What have they done? Is Africa integrating? Thank you.
Or in East Africa, no other parts in Africa, still good afternoon. Not a very good evening here in Nairobi, as news just reaching us. We've lost another one of Kenya's leaders here, one of the 3 women governors that were elected in the last elections, and that is the governor for Bomet, Ms. Joyce Laboso. Good evening, and joining me to discuss this, and of course the topic we had today is none other than the good Dr. Matanga. Karibu.
Karibu sana, very sad. A very sad evening, a very sad day again for Kenya, a sad month for Kenya. We've lost quite a number of leaders in this month, and one of the leaders, the former Deputy Speaker of Parliament by name, who was now the governor of Bomet, one of the counties, passed away in Nairobi Hospital in a few hours ago. Dr. Laboso passed away in Nairobi Hospital on Monday, succumbing to a long illness. She was about 59. Her passing comes 2 weeks after she silently came back for treatment on 14th of July. On Monday morning, the Bomet government had issued a statement saying that the governor was healing well in hospital. Reports on her ailing became public on June 5th when the leader of ODM, Raila Amolo Odinga, accompanied by Kenya High Commission to United Kingdom, were able to meet her and go and see her in hospital. May her soul rest in peace. She's left a gap among the leadership, among the people, mediators, among the peace activists, among the people who can. I remember when we were doing the ICC cases, this lady was very instrumental in those ICC cases, and she was advising quite a lot of things as a lawyer. I remember she also traveled at one time to The Hague together with us, and she gave very good and a credible advice on how we could proceed. Viewers, another disease that has become very chronic, that is killing many Africans and people all over the whole world, is cancer. The very reason why we need hospitals built, the very reason why we need equipment, the very reason why we need a lot of facilities, the very reason why we want quite a number of things to happen. But what puts us back and what puts the entire country back is the type of corruption. Joyce has gone, left a record of hard-working woman, left a county that she contested and won a seat out of very many men. She was mistreated by so many men. She was told so many words, but Joyce did not give up. So when we are fighting for something in Africa, we should not give up. I've fought time and time again. I've stood by this Pan-Africanism zeal that I will not give up. But apart from cancer, corruption has become the second unmanageable disease amongst social work, human beings, among the economic sector, the political sector, and in the governance sector. Corruption has come to destroy the moral fabrics of the people of Kenya. It is for that we want to discuss this afternoon and this evening. We know we have bad news, but still we have to push on.
Yes, we have.
To educate. We have actually consoled with the family and the people of Bomet and the people of Kenya, entire cabinet, plus the entire parliament. She was a deputy speaker in the parliament, so she will be remembered by her fellow members of parliament. And right now we can see very many leaders addressing press conferences, even those who might not have wanted to see her face to face.
Yes.
Because she had actually gone in a group called Embrace.
Oh, she was
Yes.
in the Embrace group.
She's one of the founding members of Embrace Group.
But you know, death has a way of just bringing people together. And she was a great lady, as most of the Kenya leadership has condoled and has mentioned her to be. And very weird, or very a coincidence that she's died from the same cancer as Ken Okoth. We are still mourning Ken Okoth. The country is still trying to come to terms with that, and that is colon cancer. And for Ken Okoth's case, it is said that there was misdiagnosis here in Nairobi. So by the time it was being diagnosed, he received the right diagnosis, it was already too late, and that was done abroad. So what is it that can be done here, not just in Kenya, but across Africa? Because now, just last week, I was reading a report from Zimbabwe. Cancer is now the #1 killer. It has overtaken HIV and AIDS. That is how serious cancer has become in Africa.
Yes.
And
go ahead.
Yes, and it used to be considered a lifestyle disease, a disease that only affected people with means, but now we see increasingly more people are dying from cancer, especially in Africa. So what is it that we're doing that has changed? Is it our lifestyle? Is it the foods that we eat? Is it how we take care of ourselves? What is it that has really made cancer have this, the rate increasing so much? And the colon cancer, that is what I said that Joyce Laboso has died from, and that is the same cancer that a former member now of Parliament for Kibra, Ken Okoth, died from. So it's quite shocking. I saw that headline and I was like, no way. Can we just mourn one person first? July has been quite a dark month for us here in Kenya, and we're not going to end it in a very good note, but there it is. Joyce Laboso, as I had mentioned, there was among the 3 women governors who were elected in the last general elections, her and Waiguru and another lady, but she's quite fierce and defend on whatever she believes in, quite vocal, and yes, so she's been away from the public limelight because she has been receiving treatment over there, but today she lost the battle to cancer. So we just pray for the family, and as well as condolences are continuing, and we're seeing right now the Deputy President is addressing a press conference there at the front entrance of Lee Funeral Home. That is where I believe her body has been taken there. She died at the Nairobi hospital.
Thank you very much. Send immediate. Thank you very much. There's no link. Thank you very much, viewers.
Yes.
Let's come back to our topic today, the People's Court. We shall take approximately 30 minutes
Yes.
to 40 minutes.
And we talk about
we talk about who lied
yes, the dam scandal.
in the dam scandal. We don't want to mention the names because the moment you mention the names,
But they're in public knowledge, Doctor.
yeah, people turn around and they say it
It's
is
a matter of
our
public knowledge.
clan or whatever. They saw we say Dam A and K,
Dam A and K.
Aro and Kimoro.
You just mentioned them.
Yes. But after that, now the court in Kenya this afternoon issued warrants of arrest for the two CMCD Ravenna owners, the managing directors and the directors, to appear in court in Nairobi and take a plea because they have become fugitives. They were given a chance last time, they didn't turn up. But before we do any, let's come back to the People's Court. This is a program where we bring people and get suggestions. The events in Kenya of the last 2 weeks or in the last 6 months have shown that deeper money and deeper pockets, deeping in pockets, deep, not deep, deeping in the pockets of taxpayers' purse has seen billions lost. Originally, we were assured by our people who govern this country that there was nothing lost.
You know, when you say our people who govern this country, you know you're putting your good friend in there, but I don't think he's the one who issued that statement.
No, you'll come out with the name yourself.
No, the deputy president.
President, yes. We were assured
Yes, and he said no.
by the deputy president that this money was in and intact.
And only 7 billion was.
Yeah.
I don't know, yes.
But let's now play a tape. The trail, the fact file of how a scheme was made, a scheme was arranged. A week after the police arrested the officials over 63 billion of A and K, Shujirao is smearing between Italian firm CMCD Ravenna and its local creditors who have been asked to wait for 2 years before getting paid.
And they will not have it.
So let me ask, 2 years before, that is what a case of liquidation or bankruptcy in Europe takes. Now, already, this was a deliberate scheme by these guys. And I think, Rotich, just sit in your house, wait for the sentence. Even if it is not, you are acquitted. Please learn a lesson.
And while he's learning that lesson, it will be interesting also to note that CMC Di Ravenna owes about 210 billion Kenya shillings to several firms across the globe.
Equivalent.
Why did they not do a background check?
That's exactly why who lied? Who lied? From the word go. And you see, we want to be very candid, and me especially, I want to be candid, and I want to tell the people: there is one man you have not arrested, and that man lives in London. You better pick that bagger. DCI, please pick that bagger. He uses Kenyan diplomatic passports to transfer money. Who gave him the diplomatic passport? There are people here who do great work. Some of us could have been given as a present. Kenya could have given me an award. But I don't have a diplomatic passport from Kenya. That boy, that man, that is the man who has taken Jubilee 7 years down the grave. The earlier you ask for him to be arrested, the better and the quicker. Because he could run with that type of money. He could run in the Bahamas and hide somewhere in the Bahamas, which will be very costly. That's the man who knows every transfer, every mega deal that has taken place in this country. A business, you go to Kampala, you find him there. You go to President Museveni, your brother is around there. You go everywhere, they tell you the name only, that name. Today is a day for truth telling. I don't need to hide. Because for me, if I were in London, I would have worked out quickly for his removal. Sisi tucheze huko. When it touches Africa, we take you down, man.
Because this is affecting a lot of people.
Yes. This is a guy who is a fixer in this whole thing. Who in Kenya gave this man a diplomatic passport? Who has shielded this man called so and so? Did the DCI find out? Did this report reach the president? It is terrible. So let's play the tape.
Very interesting information there, Doctor.
Yes, very, very interesting. And I hope our viewers, we can replay that as we talk so that you can see if they can start the thing again so that we can actually see for ourselves what actually took place. So, look, from day one, this was a well-organized plot. A plot in Shakespearean play where liars line up, concubines line up. If you have watched the Shakespearean play of Shakespeare and Macbeth, then Julius Caesar and the wife, you can see that the players of this play of Erero and Cameroon had a well-calculated design to rob this country. One, they organized a department of information. A department of information to tell lies, to tell us that there is nothing wrong. A department that had authority, whose authority you cannot doubt, because that authority comes with power. If a deputy president is telling you the money is guaranteed by banker guarantee, do you as a civilian, a Kenyan citizen, can you as a Kenyan citizen doubt that there is money lost? No. It also made curiosity that in a meeting where you say you were not welcome, you have not been invited, but all of a sudden you turn a helicopter and come back, it also raises eyebrows. Then in the same meeting where nobody was talking about a road dam and you bring it up to whip the normal emotions where people have been whipped before. Because the last 5 years, the Jubilee administration kept quiet while somebody siphoned the money. Let's be honest. Most of us who worked very hard for Jubilee Party are still poor with our shoes bent, our debts, our bank credit cards still being demanded by the bank, because at times you could sacrifice quite a lot to work for the party. I have never asked anybody to repair my car, which had an accident where I almost died. I have never asked anybody to give me money for medical treatment for my hand break when I was hit by an accident. My medical bill went to about 80,000 pounds, 80,480 pounds. I never asked any human being to pay for me. I paid, thanks to God. I paid here in Nairobi Hospital, where I could not stay overnight because of the threat at that time during the campaigns. I had to go back to London to get myself treated, which luckily enough I had an HIA, and National Health Service, NHS card. But if you work, you have to deposit some money. I had 4,200 pounds to put for my treatment, for the professor to look at me and said the hand, and with God's will, my hand went back. But the planning of this money was a well-orchestrated international syndicate. If you can ask how these millions moved from London or from Rome, if there was no government instructions, what bothers me more is the London movement, because it is very difficult in London to enter with 10,000 pounds in cash.
You can't.
They will ask you, if the customs stop you, you have not declared it, it will be forfeited for the state. For somebody to move millions of pounds all the way from London into Dubai, it is very important that you look for that diplomat guy and get him, bring him. There's a man, a Kenyan, who must be dealing with international syndicate of mafia, Croatians and the Ukrainians. Those who bought machines here, betting machines to kill us. That syndicate must be broken. For DCI and other people, on phase 2, you better look for that person. Someone who moved that huge money. The Italians have refused to come to Kenya now because they know once they step here, we don't know when they will come back. We better detain them until the case is over. Because you can't give him, the Kenyans, you can look for them. But for them, the law is very clear.
And when they declared bankruptcy, they,
yes,
they protected
and
themselves.
they are protected by the bankruptcy law. So what they are doing is not to appear here to fast track the bankruptcy proceedings. And when they come to Kenya to plea, to take a plea, the matter there is already concluded. The man you are sentencing has nothing except the drops of urine.
And who are who are responsible for the tendering process? Because things like I mentioned, the background check, they would have known that this farm already owes about 251 other farms across the world.
In planning this, thieves, when a thief is planning, does not look at who should do the due diligence. A thief is a thief. A thief plans, he doesn't know whether the tomatoes he is stealing are rotten, or they are poisoned, or there is a problem. That's the tragedy of thieves.
It is the tragedy of thieves. Unfortunately, we get to suffer.
Yes.
When things like this happen.
Tell me, the tragedy of this whole dam, the law signifies the magnitude of a scandal, which has seen the prosecution of a former finance cabinet secretary, Reno Rotich, and the principal secretary, Kamau Thuge. If you look at all these people, there's one thing that they had in common: theft.
But also something interesting happened there, Doctor, during today's court proceedings. Special prosecutor Taib Ali Taib was outrightly opposed to any application seeking more time, especially from the defendant side. He said no.
There's no because let me tell you, it is this is the best job whistleblowers have done, and we continue to do. We continue to do as it is. So whistleblowers have done what is supposed to be done. It's a combined effort of multi-agencies, including volunteers.
Like you.
No, don't mention me, because I'm not part of the volunteering group.
Not volunteer in that manner, but you've been in the forefront.
Mine is to tell the truth.
About corruption.
About the corruption.
You've been speaking very boldly about
Yes. Because you know, when the president went to China, these guys mobilized caterpillars.
Yes, I remember you mentioned.
Graders, all from Kampala, with their cohorts across Kampala, to come and put some semblance of...
Some work is being done.
Yes.
So how far have they gone with that?
It is stopped the following day. They hired these journalists who carry envelopes. You know, this morning we talked about journalism. Do we have journalism really in Africa?
In Africa, a lot of...
They were put on a helicopter, and the mere fact that you have sat on a helicopter with Mheshimiwa, you fail to tell that this is a hoax. That was a hoax. There was nothing. I want to take this opportunity to thank the DPP for having charged one man called Wahungu.
The Nema guy.
Mr. Wahungu of Nema, that's how he has built several houses out of the ignorance of Kenyans. The Nema man comes and gives you a paper that you can go ahead and build your apartments. After that, he comes back and says the apartments were built on riparian land. Demolish them. You have already paid him a bribe. He's gone. And he sits there, eats heavily. He's heavy. You saw the way he is. I'm a kura. Mr. DPP Asante.
But also,
you know that this to show that Nurdin Haji is an investigator. This time you can't, you know that the amount of people. Why did you sign the certificate? Because that is all. Why did you sign the certificate? Did you see the forest? Had you seen the certificate from the Ministry of Forest? I have liked this Talib.
Talib Ali Tribe.
Yes, this man is vocal, is like Otiende. Omoro Otiende, Amoro Otiende.
Yes.
They are the same. This a lawyer is very factual. Then you have defense lawyers in the People's Court. Here, for us, we tell you the truth.
The People's Court.
Stop shaming us.
Yes. But also, Doctor, I know we are trying not to talk about it, but as we talk about today, the topic right now, who lied in the dam scandal, and I'm not implying anything, but the deputy president of this country, when this scandal just broke and the money, I remember even they had an exchange with the former Prime Minister Raila Odinga when he said that only 7 billion has been lost, and Raila was saying, you cannot just say 7 billion, this is a lot of money. But also now that he said 7 billion and he said it with a lot of confidence, is there something that he knows that probably he could take to the investigative body?
That's where we are going. Second phase. Phase number 2. Phase 2. Hapana kutishatisha watu. Phase 2.
Because there seems to be
Uyo phase 2.
He knows something.
Pick that boy, that man, that guy who runs around with a diplomatic passport. Pick that one.
I really need to know this person.
That is the phase 2. We want, that guy has enjoyed a lot of privileges. He's not a government official. He's always everywhere. In Uganda, he has, you know why I hate him? He talked about my name in Kampala. He didn't know that in Kampala system, Matanga is also a system. So next time you man, when you talk, and you better play about here in Nairobi. That's all I'm telling you. I've lived 34 years running away from those type of things. But Sisi to jet, Sisi, we don't joke. That's all I can tell you. Usizungumze jina yangu, uko Kampala, we kula pesa zako. It's the same man. He doesn't have a job in government, but he has a diplomatic passport. He's the fixer of all his problems. Now banks, 6 Kenyan firms have opposed plans by the firm to leave the local creditors at the mercy of the Italian courts. Please, if you get this Italian when he arrives here, don't give him bail until the case is over. After all, it is going to be over in a month or 2 months.
Do you think he will show up?
And sentence him, yes.
What did he say his lawyer said in the court procession?
The lawyer
Yes,
is a very silly lawyer. I don't know where that boy went to school for law. He could come for some lessons on international law that affects a citizen of an international approach. You know, the lawyer man was telling us something very strange. He doesn't know section 5. And the magistrate said, Mr. Anani, do you want us to go back to school? If you reach a stage where a magistrate tells you, can we go back to school and study? Then you are useless, you walk out of court. Then he went as far as standing surety. This is a very serious case where the minister themselves were bailed out for 15 million. But when you look at the lawyer's coat and the suit, it doesn't even fit Kigomba suit. So how is he going to stand for surety? Tell me. Miriam, I'm ready to hear.
All right. So 27 of them were arrested, but today 10 of them, the first 10 people were in court today. That includes the CS for Treasury, Henry Rotich, his principal secretary, Kamau Duge, and also they denied the charges, but hey, that is the ongoing. So it's...
So who lied? Is our question. We come down, CMC, the Ravenna owes 210.74 billion to several firms across the globe. Now, Jamen, if only Kenya is 63, do you know what we are seeing here? We are seeing the Abdallah story.
Abdallah, which one?
You remember Abdallah in the book, you read that book of Abdallah, where he said, you are asking me for money, but look at this one. For you, yours is this much. So that's what the Italian is going to tell Kenyans. That I have 210 billion to pay. What is 63? Let me pay this first. First come, first serve. Kenya might be even number 10.
And also something interesting to add on that, Doctor, of all the 251 farms that this farm owes money across the globe, only Barclays Bank, Chelston Travel Limited, Oilfield Movers, Rift Valley Water Services Board, CK Patel Limited, Siginon Group, and has come out to claim their money, the money that they've lost to the Ravenna. Is there maybe a reason why some of these other farms have not cared to go look for their money that they are conned by this company? You mentioned a few months ago they operate like a mafia.
but this is
they've conned 251 farms.
The problem here is maybe His Excellency, when he's selecting other ministers again to replace these ministers, let him ask whether some of them are internationally exposed, because a man like a Kiyunjuri can easily cause problems for this government. First, he doesn't know how to interpret international laws. He doesn't listen to advice. So some of them, in the future, please. Because, look, if you are dealing with Italians, you must be sharp.
Especially this kind
They talk two languages. They talk the mafios and the real banking language. They tell you, bank there, no problem, we carry money. Shall carry our money, it will be finito.
Finito, see.
Yes. So, either our African guys were not aware, or
you think they were not aware?
They were aware, they continued very quickly to haste. This is not a fraud. This is a local haste.
The manner in which it was done, I think they were aware.
It's a haste.
Absolutely, yes.
They just took the money. Whenever you find this Rotich in a corner, anywhere in a restaurant, he's always with dubious people. You don't find organized people seated near him. The people who do bad things. I've been following. Now he's out, we have to talk about it. So, who lied? The minister lied, the PS lied, the officers lied, all the Bazungu Italians lied, Kimosop lied,
the DP did not lie.
He lied.
Because it is a matter of public.
His is a flat, there are lies and a flat lie.
So his is a flat lie.
A flat lie, I don't know how it looks like. Flat means there's a lie that is not flat, it's bent or tall.
It's just flat.
Or standing.
It's just flat.
Flat.
Down on the floor.
Yes. Unajua hiyo flat.
Because at that time, the CS came out to say it's 21 billion, and then the DP was saying 7, and people were wondering, why are you the one telling us how much money has been lost, and yet the person whose money is under his custody is telling us this much? So, yeah, I think on that...
My friend James Dama from London, I would like you to, I will call you later today. I need you to find this guy, because you know the job you do, but don't worry. I want us to find this guy quickly for the Kenyans to solve this problem, because we have a problem here.
Cecily has a problem, or is it wrong?
James, thank you for watching from London. 63 billion Kenya shillings, pure, gone. It's gone. Full of lies, full of diversion tactics, full of everything, even including yesterday. All this. Another good news that has come out from Kenya today, which we received, is 5 p.m. this East African Standard Time. We want to call it a day, is Mr. Waititu, the governor of
Kiambu. He's spending another night.
Yes.
Together with the wife.
You should have given them 2 nights.
Together with the wife.
Yeah, inside.
I've seen a hashtag about a certain couple. They are being called, I can't even say it here, but Kenyans have coined a name for them. You and your wife cannot be in police cell because of stealing from public. It's
how
wrong.
do your children feel?
Allegedly, it's just wrong. And you're not passing judgment here, but let's...
No, but do you know that some wives like that? Some women like that. There are some women like cowboys who steal.
Cowboys who steal?
Yes.
Why cowboys?
Because they whip innocent, well-organized men.
Cowboys are only found in Texas.
No, they are here.
They're here.
Waititu is a cowboy.
He's a cowboy who steals.
Waititu can beat you.
yeah, he can fight.
He fights.
Yes.
He doesn't, he's a cowboy. He doesn't care.
He's such a street person.
On money, Waititu can, you know, I have a bill that I paid in The Hague. It has never been paid. Ichungwa, Alice Ng'ang'a, myself, and Waititu. I paid that bill. And Ichungwa, I've been telling you slowly, pay my money. It was 875 euros that we ate food and get a taxi. You said you were going to Turkey to come back. You never came back. So pay my money. I need it. I'm poor. You people went there with an aim. I did not go. I had to hire a taxi for Waititu to leave The Hague because Waititu was going to, the chief prosecutor is looking for Waititu. But then Waititu came to the chief prosecutor. I was talking to her, confronting her about why she allows to deal with NGO. Then Waititu came to ask for a card. That can I make an appointment to see you? I said, wewe wanakutafuta. Huyu mama anatisema jina yako. Then what are you doing here? We went to the restaurant. I said, get a passport, your things, go home. Nililipa bill hiyo. Alice Ng'ang'a, you are in Thika MP. Please, you are my witness. Mimi sitaki maneno mingi. Mimi am a poor man. Ichungwa never talked to me again. Me have now become an enemy. Hiyo pesa $892 nipatie euros. Ilikuwa yangu. After all, you people have gained more on this side. Yeah, given you businesses, you have done lots of things. I have done nothing. Mimi nilipata nini? Not even a medal.
Zablon Nyanyuki, you're saying, watching you guys from Novo here in Doha, the CS routine should be locked in prison. Imagine they were only fined 15 million. Zablon has still not gotten over the fine that the CS was given, only 15 million Kenya shillings. You know, if comparing to the money that was lost the money that has been stolen from that. He thinks it's not really fair, so he can't even fathom 15 million only is the fine that Rotich was given. So he's saying that Rotich should be locked in prison. Of course, Zablon, if you've been following, he's now in court, and we're just waiting for the court process, and we're following very keenly and see. And all Kenyans are watching the courts this time, and we want to see what kind of verdict they'll give in this one. It's quite a litmus test for the judiciary in this country at this time.
It is very bad when you see people who have been given a responsibility, lies. You see now, when that thing of the dams came, Murkomen was in Elengoyo Marakwet. We are not going to keep quiet, not to mention names, to be threatened by Italian mafia have run away. We have now mafia inside here threatening people. The man collected the MPs and said they are trying to take away our dam. When his wife, 2 pickups, part of the delivery, were there. You saw the queue of cars. He just said it to who? So these things, Kenyans, you better wake up and speak about these things. And unfortunately, the media does not give Kenyans the chance to speak about these things. The media here is also about someone in that department with very dirty teeth fixes the media every evening. Na yeye tutamtambua. If Kenyans cannot speak, let me speak and I'll be hated. If they don't want me, I'll go. But hii kitu lazima tuambiane ya haki. There's someone fixing the media every evening. You go to their telephones. And until yesterday, the media, they fixed it itself. You know, when you steal too much and tell lies, God turns the lie. Why is it that the government, the spokesman of the deputy president, cannot come out to clarify where the president was? The deputy president was. I'm the one who came out because I am an investigative journalist. I went somewhere. I went to several places, including the airport. That's what a journalist should do. Was the deputy here? You have your sources. He said no, he wasn't there. CCTV does not show he was there. And the confident that I'm saying the story on the Standard newspaper, rubbish. Rubbish. That story is not correct. Ruto was never at that airport. If he was, he came late, the president had left. And by the way, go back to the story of the servant in the Bible. You read the Bible. A master who left servants with 3 servants. What happened?
They're given talents.
Talents and the tasks to conduct. Then when your master arrives at the airport and doesn't find you, what do? So whom are you blaming? You turn the story. You know, this is Machiavellian politics playing in Kenya here. This is Machiavellian politics. Because someone has done a mistake, we are now paying the price of even antagonizing every institution, including the newspaper. Can you see that? Can you the politics of Machiavelli? Nikolai Machiavelli. Why is it that the people in that office are not issuing a statement?
They've not countered the headlines from
no,
Standard.
It is me who had to go to counter the headline. Because as an investigative journalist, I needed to write something that I know is correct. There was no motorcade. The man that time when the plane came, he was not there. He was somewhere else. So that one, the Standard newspaper, I don't know how you are going to do it, but do something to put the paper to back to the readers like us who love it so much. You know I love Standard.
Yes.
Every time I love the Standard newspaper. Not because of the owners. The owners are my friends. Yeah? But I love it. The only man who almost made me leave Standard is Makau Mutua. But now I have politicized that one and indoctrinated him. Makau Mutua is a changed, saved Mulokole. Is back to what Matanga says. I told you. He was not with me, he's with me now. He's on the same path. The George Soros man, but he's saying the truth. At least Macau is not like a Kure Court who relies on handouts. Handouts! Akura kitu.
Majani Rashid here is saying, imagine all the money has been deposited in offshore accounts to make developed countries richer and richer, while African billionaire kids continue making their homeland poor. That is from Majani Rashid. Thank you so much. And John Clark is saying, the problem with you, doctor, you go to sleep when the payments are being done. But
that is it. Read it properly. John Clark says, the problem with you, Dr. Matanga, you go to sleep when the payments have been made and have been done. By the time you wake up, is only air is left for you. May it be left for me to breathe without looking back. Let me eat the little that I have. If I don't have, God help me. But I'm not going to take any stranger on this. I don't want to be involved in this money thing. This money smells.
Stinks, reeks of problems.
Uganda doesn't have more problems. Does not steal money. You don't steal money in Uganda and you are 63 billion. If you are not lucky, if you are lucky, you can go to Luzira. If you are not lucky, you go with one leg off.
But the government will do something.
Hey, there is no way you get bail in Uganda. So you, Mr. Atigara, or whatever name you use, I don't like to hear it. But it is a name, we shall read it, Dennis Atigara. Uganda has more pro issues than require your time. My Uganda and Kenya are the same. We are doing for integration. You are the people who hide the thieves. These thieves, some of them operate from Uganda. So you don't want me to speak about it. Sorry about that. And a good time. Enjoy the television.
Indeed, Dennis, thank you for joining us. So, yes.
And Majani Rashid says, did you read that?
I did. I said
that all the money has been deposited offshore accounts. Indeed, it's true. It's like a sports pesa money.
So
it's gone.
They keep making the richer countries richer.
You stop the betting here, they have taken the money.
No.
Now, have you seen people talking about the changing of the money in Kenya?
It's interesting.
Are we talking about October deadline? The guys cleaned their money a long time ago. They are very clever people. It's gone.
Wow.
Are we talking about the October deadline? Who talks about this new money? Is there anybody? You look at we have a mafia here. Aye.
That's really interesting. And all of a sudden, betting became a booming business here in Kenya. And when now the owners of these betting firms are being made known to the public, a lot of them were foreigners. It's very interesting. And a foreigner cannot just come from outside and decide, I'm going to start a betting company here in Kenya. There has to be an insider they've been working with who has given them this information. Because betting is not something you just go to a country and start. So who are the locals even they've been working with? And now when you connect all this and bring the dam scandal, well, something is reeking here. And the authorities needs to get to the bottom of all this.
James Drama, read his comment. He's my friend. A very organized man in London. We know this guy, so we shall help the Kenyan government
James Drama
to track him down.
He's saying, thanks for the important cabaret. I thought everybody in Kenya were whiter and white. Football starting soon from sunny London, GND. I don't know if I understand what he's saying there.
James Drama.
He thought everybody in Kenya were white.
Cabaret is this.
Yes.
This is, you know, this is a cabaret. A teacher. Drama. You explain to us.
Yes, but thank you for watching there, Mr. James.
So when you see all that, that's exactly what we are not going to engage ourselves. We have had a very great show.
Yes.
The People's Courts, finally. The money trail. The money trail. The first group of 10 included the former National Treasury Cabinet. Okay, the CMS has filed application for bankruptcy. Please, I advise Kenyans not to wait, because that bankruptcy to go through will take a long time. So we advise that we move faster, efficiently, expeditiously. What other word can I use?
That is the correct word.
Expeditiously to recover your money before this Italian disappears. And the Italian law is once somebody is declared insolvable.
They already closed shops in Kenya.
Yes.
Where are they going to get?
You can't get.
From?
So that is all.
It's a done.
This is a great lie. It was not a small lie. It was a flat lie.
A flat lie.
A flat lie.
There you go.
Can we end it there?
Yes.
A flat lie. Just as a flat lie of Standard newspaper.
And I've seen a lot of Kenyans castigating this story today online, so a lot of people...
Not Kenya. Why don't you give me credit?
Yeah, you said it, but...
I am no credit. I am the one who showed them what it is.
Yes.
Who disagreed from last night, midnight. I said it is fake.
And a lot of Kenyans are supporting what you're saying.
Yes. Yes. It's fake. I cannot tell a lie. I disagree with this guy on the way he insult. I disagree with them the way they handle the president. They insult him every day. I don't feel all right as a friend. I don't care. But when the truth comes, he was not at the airport. You can't write a story. I stand by my truth. Let them take me to the television. I'll tell them the truth. I want Standard OKTN to invite me. I'll prove to them that the deputy president was not at the airport. It's a story manufactured to create a certain perception that does not exist. Someone was busy campaigning, then you say he was at the airport. The man was campaigning. Don't bring us into this to say, oh, you came but we did not see you. You can't just change a plane and throw the president to a terminal. Did he walk from the main dais? There's parking rules. This is not a Matatu road. Jamen, let's think as journalists. We all have budgets to operate in this country, foreign and local. Let's think. Don't bring in stupid stories. No. Even if you hate somebody, don't hate him that way. He will win. If you hate him that he was there, where was he? A ghost? Was there a ghost? This is a story planted by someone within themselves to create a confusion. So it's better for us to stand up to say, he was not there. So go and kill me if you want.
Yes, indeed. All right. In case the DP's office has anything to say to that, will bring it.
It doesn't have. What has it? What English will they have?
Because so far they would already.
There is some news coming back here. Justice Oko Justice said Nigeria has been categorized in two most dangerous terrorist organizations in the world, namely being a country of brutes and a place where murderers are rewarded handsomely, while the innocent are jailed, killed, or tagged terrorist by the government, family, press. Well, for us, we have been talking about it. I hope Buhari does not make us terrorists. But if he does, the laws are here. We haven't told anybody to go and kill anyone. We only talk the truth about Nigeria and what is happening. It's a problem that could happen and erupt anytime in
across Africa. So that's very interesting. Nigeria has been categorized into two most dangerous terrorist organizations in the world. Wow. And the manner you see the president of Nigeria even handling this runaway insecurity is very telling. So it's completely gotten out of hand.
So thank you very much, Miriam. I want to thank you. I take this opportunity to thank you so much for keeping it, working it, talking it, eating it, smiling it,
Okay.
and
Going
we
it.
met.
Going it.
Going it.
Now tomorrow.
Yes, you saw it's a laughing week for the festival
Is
of
it?
Churchill.
Oh, it is the last.
So you can, there's a Ugandan doctor who teaches. He knows
I
what.
saw him yesterday.
Yes.
Very funny.
So very funny. It's good. It is, yes, it is, it is. So that is the life. But I want to thank you. I want to take this opportunity to thank the people of Kenya, to thank the entire people of Bomet, to condole with them about the death of the governor, a great lady, a great French speaker, a great speaker of the National Assembly, deputy, a great person who endured. Even when they poured the water on her, she laughed. She never quarreled. That is the type of life that lady led. I watched in this Geist when my friend, another woman I love so much in the parliament, but she later on apologized and the matter was over when she was poured on water. You remember in the parliament when she was presiding over the security bill. But these things do happen. One of the women I like very much in this parliament is Gladys Wanga. I don't know why. I just like, I think she has some stamina of brain.
She does.
Yes. I like you, Gladys Wanga, as...
Very fiery, though.
Yes.
No, she's not a lady you can joke with.
No.
She'll take you head on.
Yes, head on. And that is very good.
Yes.
But the demise of Amai Laboso leaves us a gap. We had 3 governors, ladies, on the 2 are left. It is a sad day for the people of Kenya, the people of Bomet, the governors' fraternity, the women fraternity in the parliament and outside parliament, because you had exhibited the resilience of a high caliber that you can win a seat even when you are a woman.
Yes, indeed. And she fought it.
So thank you very much. Over to you, Miriam, to close the subject. The People's Court will return tomorrow, the same time.
All right. So we'll see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
For the good morning.
And a good morning in the morning. My opinion, tomorrow suggest the topics that we can touch. We shall touch them without any fear or favor. If you suggest for us the topics, we shall take them and look at them, and then we can talk about them tomorrow. On behalf of Africa, Punchline Africa think tanks, This station is for Africa, by Africa, with Africa child.
Peace must be our goal and our guide. And all that we strive for as a human family, dignity and hope, progress and prosperity, depends on peace. But peace depends on us.